Hey guys, so I'm going to be working through some IXLs with you today. This week we're working on area and perimeter of shapes. These are things that show up on the ACT. I have posted for you on the page for this week in the week 12 module a list of formulas. You do need to commit those to memory if you don't already know them, because the ACT does not give you the formulas. Okay, so the first one, also these things are live linked in the assignment, so you can go in and just click on the link and it will take you to this page. All right, so for perimeter, so this is S1 perimeter. Remember that perimeter is the outside. So when we talk about perimeter, it's the outside of the shape. So I'm going around. How far around do I travel? Okay. And so what we're going to do is I've got this rectangle. It has a length of 5 and a length of 3. And it wants to know the perimeter. Well, if it's a rectangle, then I know that its opposite sides are the same. And so I have those. So there are a couple of ways that you can do that. One is the formula 2 lengths plus 2 widths is the perimeter. So 2 times 5 plus 2 times 3 is 10 plus 6, which is 16. Okay. Another way to calculate that would be to simply just add them after you've labeled them. So 3 plus 5 is 8, plus 3 is 8, 9, 10, 11, plus 5 more is 16. Okay. All right. A square, what's unique about a square is all sides are equal, and so we would we can multiply that by 4. So that's 4 times 6, which is 24. And that's because each of the side lengths are 6, right? It's a square. Okay. All right, let's look at some other ones. Parallelogram, again, remember your properties of parallelograms, opposite sides are equal. So you can work them the same way that you do a rectangle. So you have 2 of the 22s and 2 of the 36s. And let's see what that would be. So it'd be 116. Okay. All right. Let's look at some more. Okay, it's another parallelogram. All right, so here's one where it has a variable. It tells you the perimeter. Oops, I'll change color back. It's a little light. All right, so it tells me the perimeter is 126. So I know that 126 is equal to y plus 33 plus y plus 35. So I just went all the way around the picture and wrote my side lengths down, right? Because that's the definition of perimeter. All right, so I have 2y plus 68 equals 126. Minus 68 is 58. Divide by 2. You get y is 29. And hopefully I did that right. All right. Okay. And then this one tells you it's a triangle, so draw your triangle. It has a perimeter of 24. 2 sides are 6 and 8. What's the other one? Okay. So it works just like the other. You just have to draw a picture first. So 24 equals 14. So it's 10. Okay. All right, so that's perimeter. Let's go back to the geometry. Now you can link these straight from the assignment bits, or you can backtrack and go down to the S's. Well, let's see. I didn't want to do that. Let's undo that. All right, so this is S2. It's area of a square. So area of a square, or squares and rectangles. Area is length times width for rectangles. There is a formula for squares, which is side squared. That is because the side lengths of a square are all the same. right? But you can use the length times width formula. This one's a square, so I know that both of my sides are, or all my sides are 5. So 5 squared is 25. Okay. Let's see. The square. It's giving me all squares. This one is, it says the area is 400. And it wants to know what the length of the side is. Okay, so if area is s squared, 400 is s squared. Remember to solve. Let's take the square root. So that's going to be 20. Right. There we go. Right, and then this one is a rectangle. So area is length times width. It tells you that the area is 153. It has okay, so sometimes they do base times height, right? Sometimes they use the base times height definition, which is still length times width, okay? 9 times the height, so divide by 9. 153 divided by 9 is 17. That is not a very good age. Right? As you're working through these, if you have questions, please send me a message on Canvas. I'm more than happy to answer those. I will even go in and look at the ones you're missing and send you work. All right, so this one's the area of a parallelogram and triangles. So for a parallelogram, area is base times height. Okay, what you have to remember is that height is where it's perpendicular, okay, to the base. Height is perpendicular to the base. That makes a 90-degree angle. Okay, that's super, super important. And so for this one, the height is 5 and the base is 7. And so I just plug that in. So area is 5 times 7, which is 35. Okay, and then area of a triangle is half that of a rectangle. And so here I have a triangle. This one's a right triangle, so its base and height are 4 and 5. So area is 4 times 5, which is 20. Okay. Oh, I didn't half it. Okay, yep. So look, notice I didn't do the 1/2. So I should have done area equals 1/2 base times height, which is 1/2 of 4 times 5, which is 10. Okay, sorry about that. Common mistake, please make sure you pay attention. Make sure you don't forget your half. That's a parallelogram. Let's kind of skip up a little bit. All right, a triangle has a base of 9.2 and a height of 5. What's the area? So area is 1/2 base times height. Let's not forget the half this time. 5 times 9.2. So you can use your calculator. So 0.5 times 5 times 9.2 is 23. Okay. So let's see if I did it right this time. All right. So on the ones where it's a word problem, make sure you draw your picture. Okay. Let's go back. And then you will do trapezoids. Now, trapezoids are the fun ones. So on trapezoids, you have to average the bases. So trapezoids area is base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2 times the height. Sometimes you'll see it written 1/2 of base 1 plus base 2 times the height. Okay, it means the same thing. I always remember it as this is averaging the bases. Okay, so average the bases times the height. Okay, so here base 1 is 1, base 2 is 2, and the height is 4. Right, so I'm just going to plug that in. 1/2, 1 plus 2 times 4. 1/2 times 3 times 4 is 6. Right? Okay. So those work the same way. Let's see if there's anything crazy happening in these. No, so they all work the same. So I'll work another one. I'll work this one. So base 1 is 3, base 2 is 9, the height is 6. So 1/2 3 plus 9 times 6. So that's 12. Half of 12 is 6. 6 times 6 is 36. Okay. Look at this one. I thought they might get a little trickier in there. So it asks for a missing link. So it tells you the area. So let's write our formula out. Base 1 plus base 2 times the height. The area is 120. Half of 8 plus y times 10. Well, half of 10 is 5, so that's 120 equals 5 times 8 plus y. Now, you can do this a couple ways. You can distribute, but I'm going to go ahead and divide both sides by 5. So 120 divided by 5 should be 24, I believe. Yes. And so 24 equals 8 plus y, subtract 8. So 24 minus 8 is 16. So y should be 16. Okay, so you're just solving. Word problems, make sure you draw a picture. So it says a trapezoid, so I have some trapezoid, doesn't matter. Has an area of 120. One base is 18, the other base is 12. What is the height? So height's what I'm looking for. Okay, so you would work it the same way. So you'd say 100, or actually that's 210. I inverted my numbers. So 210 equals 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times the height. All right, type this in your calculator. 18 plus 12 is 30, divided by 2 is 15. All right, and then divide by 15. If I can do this correctly, that's 14. All right. All right, so there's trapezoids. All right, so the last one that we're going to look at is circles. So area and circumference. So for circles, things to remember that area is pi r squared, circumference is 2 pi r, or pi times the diameter. Okay, r is the radius, d is the diameter. So here it gave me the diameter. So it says the diameter is 18. What's the area? Well, to find area, I need to know the radius. So if the diameter is 18, the radius is 9. So area is pi r squared. So pi times 9 squared give the exact answer in simplest form. So it wants pi left in. So I'm going to type in, I'm going to do 9 squared, which is 81. So that's 81 pi. Okay, so when you type these in, make sure you are reading what it says. So it says to leave it in simplest form. Okay, so make sure you leave pi in there. So it says the radius is, this one says the radius is 10. It wants to know the circumference. Well, circumference is 2 pi r, which is 2 pi times 10. Okay, so you're going to do 2 times 10, which is 20. Right? And so 20 pi. Okay, so make sure you're reading what it asked for, or the form that it asked for it in. Okay. Well, skipping simplest form. All right, it looks like all of them are going to ask you to leave it in simplest form, and I'm not going into the challenge zone, am I? All right, so the area is 64 pi square miles. What is the circumference? Okay, so to do that, you're going to solve for the radius and then solve. Okay, so let me work that one. So the area is 64 pi. What is the circumference? Well, I'm going to solve this by finding r. So 64 pi equals pi times r squared. Well, if I divide both sides by pi, those are going to cancel. And then if I take the square root, I get 8 is my radius. Well, circumference is 2 pi r, which is 2 times 8 times pi, so 16 pi. Okay. And so that's how you work those problems. Okay. As you're working these, again, if you have any problems, please message me and let me know. All right. Have a great week. And you can kind of spread these out. So just kind of work on them a little bit at a time. Do one, then do the next ones, over the upcoming days. Okay. Because your next module will open on next Wednesday. So this is it. All right. You have these five IXLs for the week, and that's all. All right. So make sure you let me know if you need anything.